everywhere you look.
E.T. the Extraterrestrial is a 1982 science fiction film directed by Steven Spielberg. The film centers around a little boy named Elliot, who befriends an alien that has been abandoned on Earth. Personally, I found the movie horrifying as a small child, but the American Film Institute rated it the 25th best film of all time in 2007, so I'm sure it counted for something. It has amassed a box office of just under $800 million worldwide after all, almost 12 million of those being from its domestic opening. With it being such a successful movie, there has to be rip-offs of it, one of the most well-known ones being a 1984 Turkish film called Badi. It even says on its IMDb page that it's a remake of Spielberg's E.T. But did you know that there's actually another Turkish rip-off of E.T.? That being a very bizarre 1987 non-canonical sequel called Homoti. The film has some loosely similar events to E.T., with this guy finding the titular alien and bringing him home, before he returns to his home planet at the end. I got this movie from a video called Bad Movie Ripoffs by the channel Chodmunch, where Homoti appears around 4 minutes and 40 seconds into the video. I then found an upload of it in full on YouTube, so I thought, why not? Just as I hoped, it was very low budget, badly written, and just weird. I'm going to preface my review with this though. The titular alien, along with some side characters, are meant to be gay. The topic of sexuality isn't handled sensitively. The version that I'm reviewing is from YouTube, as I said, and I don't speak Turkish, so I'm going to be basing my commentary on the subtitles from the upload. I'm sorry if I make any mistakes or mispronounce any words or names because of this, and I hope that my video is still fun. Anyways, without further ado, on with the review.
Polos is life, 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 sleep all night and then Polos is life.
After a very dated title card, we get some opening credits with some footage of the apartment that we're going to be trapped in for most of the movie's runtime. I actually like this bit, the music cutting because the main character is changing a vinyl. This guy is our hero, Ali, and we know he's our hero because he's cool and rides a motorbike, without a helmet. Don't be like this guy, safety first everyone. Ali is also played by the director and writer of this movie, so yeah, it's one of those movies. I think Ali is a photojournalist, and he gets told by his boss that he needs a good story for their newspaper. Ali then tells his boss that he made up stories, including a fake giant whale that he put in the Bosphorus Strait, or how he became a helicopter pilot in 2 hours, but his boss doesn't like either of those ideas. I mean, at least we have some realism about some so-called journalists misrepresenting things and making stuff up. The boss makes some sarcastic comment about a flying saucer, and Ali says he'll get him a photo of one by tomorrow. Ali then gets some of his dishes and tries to make fake UFO photographs. He then just stumbles upon Homoti's spaceship, and Homoti is just chilling outside.
Kim olduğunu anlat bana.
Ne düşündüğünü biliyorum. Ama eğer bu röportajı yaparsan beni gelip geri götürürler. Oysa ben artık geri dönmek istemiyorum.
Tamam gel benimle. Gel benimle.
Well, for one, Ali is taking this situation pretty well. He isn't freaking out too much or anything. But how does Homoti know that Ali is wanting to do an interview for his paper? Does he have telepathic powers? At Ali's apartment, Homoti explains that he comes from the planet Homon, and that he doesn't want to be forced to return home because it's a dictatorship. It's a pretty lenient dictatorship, however, because the punishment for leaving is being housebound for a day, and free speech is allowed. But Homoti does seem impressed at the idea that discrimination is frowned upon on Earth, so maybe it's not all sunshine and rainbows on Homon. This character, Hatcher, is Ali's housekeeper, and she argues with this guy at the market. After he gives her some produce, she goes to the butcher, who says he will give her 1 kilo of mutton if she leaves immediately. This type of interaction continues at the next shop, and it looks like there's chroma key being used here. If there isn't, I don't know what's going on. Why are they so mean to her anyway? When Hatcher gets to the apartment, she faints upon seeing Homoti, but warms to him pretty much immediately after. Ali and Hatcher seem to have a close friendship, which is nice to see. Ali heads to work, and Homoti begs him not to do the interview, and promises he can give him another story, demonstrating what I assume is supposed to be magic powers, but we get transported into a screen of weird 80s CGI. What does this have to do with anything? Are these stock animations? Funnier yet, Homoti calls this his 7th sense. At work, Ali is introduced to an intern called Aishagul, who is obviously our love interest. The boss demands that Ali mentors her, and after some pointless squabbling about this, the two show some interest in each other. I don't get why he was so opposed to it at first, it just seems like an unnecessary conflict. We're gonna go back and forth to the apartment just so you're aware, and in this apartment, we get introduced to my favourite character, Haydar.
Ay, o ne öyle?
Homoti be korkma.
Like Hatcher, he has a pretty strong reaction to Homoti at first, but he gets over it after making Homoti cry.
Maymun mu? Kedi midir nedir o öyle?
What is going on? This is so weird. What is Homoti doing? He then asks if they're scared of him, which is like, why? Aishagul then says she wants to be friends with Ali, and to show that he trusts her, he takes her home to see Homoti. When he thinks that Aishagul is Ali's girlfriend, he gets his suitcase to leave, but he relaxes when Ali tells him that they're just colleagues. Yeah, for now that is. I know how these movies work. This delivery man then arrives and freaks out when he sees Homoti taking the milk, as well as various other items. Haydar comes over again and complains to Homoti that his partner has gone away on an away match. I assume that's something to do with football. He reads Homoti's fortunes using the coffee. I thought it was tea leaves, but alright. And he gives the typical vague answers like, Homoti will overcome a big mess. With the help of Homoti's powers, Ali finds a replacement story with a very realistic flying carpet. Is this supposed to be like the flying bikes like in E.T.? It's a creative spin on the idea, I'll give it that. The boss likes it, and while at Ali's house, he meets Homoti. Why is Homoti being revealed to so many people? Kinda irresponsible, is it not? Hatcher and Homoti get drunk and they cry over how lonely they are. Hatcher explains marriage to Homoti and he starts crying because they love each other, and Homoti loves Ali. What kind of Wattpad, love triangle, love square nonsense is going on in here? Homoti sings a ballad.
Sevgi güzeldir, güzeldir sevgi. Bir ağacı, bir kuşu, toprağı sevmek gibi.
Which just seems way more like a poetry recital than a song, and the scene ends abruptly.
Yaşasın.
Selam patron.
Gel Kadir hayrola?
Really, what is this cut? Anyways, this guy called Kadir approaches the boss and says that he is really annoyed with Ali and doesn't like him because he thinks he's shady. Homoti watches Jaws, gets scared like a little bitch, packs his suitcase and gets ready to leave. This little alien is so trigger happy. Hatcher leaves Homoti on his own, but tells the guy not to open the door to anyone, so naturally, when Kadir comes to the house, Homoti opens the door like a total moron. Kadir then fucking kidnaps Homoti, and Ali arrives home soon after, finding the house empty. Ali calls Aishagul, who tells the boss that Homoti is missing, and of course, the boss suspects Kadir. Kadir then tries to force Homoti to be in an article and make him famous, which is kind of a silly plan. Obviously, Homoti uses his powers against him, and he just leaves Kadir up there. Homoti has already teleported home by the time our heroes get to Kadir's house, and they just leave him up there too, but he is eventually released by Homoti. Kadir kinda deserved it. I mean, what did he expect to happen? He had no way of knowing Homoti had powers, but just saying, "I'm going to do something that will put you in danger," to an alien can't really end well. Ali and Aishagul go to dinner, and he buys her a ring. How long have these two known each other? What's the sense of time in this movie? Has it been a few days? Weeks? Months? After gossiping with Haydar and Hatcher again, Homoti goes in a Skype video call with E.T., who has a really deep voice for some reason.
Seni tanıyorum.
Hakikat mi ulan?
Apparently the news of Homoti's existence has spread, because two random guys that we've never seen before kidnap Ali to get him to reveal Homoti's location. Homoti just materializes into the scene because he knows everything, and they're just thrown into a random body of water. That evening, Homoti goes through Aishagul's handbag and finds a lipstick, which he smears all over his face. He then heads to Ali's room, where he sees him with Aishagul. I mean, again, what was he expecting? Ali has made it clear that he loves Homoti, but he's not interested in that way. Homoti needs to learn how to handle rejection. Hatcher argues with one of the shopkeepers at the market, and he hits her over the head with part of a crate. Okay, I get how she could be annoying, but resorting to violence is not okay. She then argues with the doctor as well, of course.
Merhaba. Ay, o ne be? Ay, sen kimsin, uzaylı mısın? Homoti'nin arkadaşı mısın yoksa, ha?
This is my favourite line in the whole movie. I laughed so hard at this the first time I watched this. I had to pause the movie. The group look for Homoti, who has decided to go home, and he removes Hatch's head completely before putting it back, all healed. Some prank! Homoti then flies away after all of the characters say their goodbyes, and the movie ends. For all of this movie's bad writing, bad effects, bad premise, it's actually weirdly charming. I was expecting the stereotypes like Homoti carries around a glittery suitcase and has a high-pitched, soft voice. All he, Haydar, and Hatcher do when they interact is gossip, pretty much. They're very melodramatic as well. The movie does seem to try to push an overall moral lesson about being nice and not being discriminatory, and how dictatorships are bad, which is cool and all, but come on, man! The effects are really something else too. The flying in the air effect with Kadir, the cuts to CGI clips of playing cards. The Homoti suit is just wow. It's clearly in two pieces, and I'm sorry, but what is with this design? The mouth moves at least, but it looks disgusting. Imagine being inside that thing. The plot and pacing are very bizarre, and we cut back and forth from and spend so much time in the apartment that it just feels like it should be a sitcom, especially with the way the neighbour just pops back in every now and again.
Neredesin kız? Bir saattir bağırıp duruyorum. Merhaba. Ay, o ne be? Ay, sen kimsin, uzaylı mısın? Homoti'nin arkadaşı mısın yoksa, ha?
There isn't really any sense of time passing either, as I suggested before. Surprisingly, this movie has actually gotten more traction than I first thought. The Cinema Snob reviewed it back in the day. It's gotten decent reviews on IMDb and Letterboxd, and I mean, someone even made an Evangelion parody of it. Well, that's all for this video. Be sure to follow me on social media as they are all linked in my description box. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching.
The blue and green ones are my favorite kind, but I'll eat the colored ones from time to time. Cause Polos is life, 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 Polos is life. Sleep all night and then Polos is life.